headlines. Lagos lawmakers impeach Speaker Obasa amid fraud allegations. Governor Aiyedatiwa pardons 15 convicts, commutes death sentences, reduces jail terms of 25 others. Deadly Los Angeles wildfires. Crews scramble to contain blazes ahead of high winds. And in sports, La Liga, Diego Simeone foams over Barca's registration of Dani Olmo, Paul Victor. A very warm welcome to you. This is Malachite TV Global News, reaching you live from the city of Lokoja, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Gift Daniel. Thanks for joining. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has steered the nation's financial landscape by suspending approvals for extensions on export proceeds repatriation, effective January 8, 2025. This bold move halts the previous leniency offered to exporters facing delays in repatriating their foreign earnings, and the decision promises to ripple through Nigeria's economy with profound consequences. Repatriation of export proceeds is a crucial process for foreign exchange FX management in Nigeria, as exporters are required to return earnings to the local banking system for conversion into Naira. The CBN suspension of extension request signals a tightening of regulations, which is set to pose significant challenges for exporters, especially small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, with limited financial flexibility. The Kogi State Government has presented checks worth 34,200,000 Naira as compensation to 37 victims of the GSM village fire disaster in Lokoja. The presentation ceremony, which held under the supervision of the Deputy Governor, Joel Salifu, in his office. The Deputy Governor, who was represented at the event by the Special Advisor on SEMA, Office of the Deputy Governor, Sandra Musa, said the event was a fulfillment of Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo's promise to provide relief in terms of financial support for the victims. Salifu urged the beneficiaries to put the compensation to judicious use and also ensure precautionary measures are put in place to foster future occurrence. The State Commissioner for Water Resources, Farouk, commended Governor Usman Ododo for his support and prompt response to the plight of the victims, noting that it's a testament of his commitment to the welfare of the people. Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has assured parents and kids of his administration to ensure children are protected from abuse of any kind. The governor made this declaration during the visit of the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Child Abuse, Muhammad Jamilat, visits to Reference Hospital, Okene, Specialist Hospital, Lokoja, and a few orphanage homes in Lokoja. Jamilat, who sensitizes parents on the value placed on children by their creator, warns against physical, emotional, and sexual abuse of children, and says it is liable to stiff punishment by law of the nation. Our reporter has more.
The Senior Special Assistant on Child Abuse, Jamilat Muhammad, who visited the reference hospital, first distributed consumables, joined with non-consumables and cash to patients and parents whose children were hospitalized. She sensitized parents and guardians on the side effects of child abuse.
I want to use this opportunity to let you people know that it is very important that you do not abuse a child. There are different types of child abuse. We have physical child abuse. It has to do with inflicting injury on the child just because you want to correct the child, or you just want to harm the child. There are people that they are not even after correcting a child. They just want to harm a child. Like they are just wicked naturally. There are people like that. So when you raise such children, you treat them badly. When they grow up in the society, they only have ideas of how to treat people badly because of the way they have been treated when they were younger. But when you treat them with the right character, they grow up with that character and treat each other right.
Jamila emphasized why children should not be abused in any form, reassured of the state government's commitment to do anything possible to protect children from their abusers. According to the Nigerian Constitution, domiciled in the child rights in the states.
As the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on child abuse, I'm taking the good message and the good character of our leaders down to the people at the local area of the state letting them know that they are not alone in their struggle. Even in an advanced country like the United States of America, in the year 2021, there was a very serious case of child abuse. Up to 600,000 child abuse cases was recorded. 2,000 something, above 2,000 died due to child abuse. So this child abuse is not just in Nigeria, it is everywhere. So within this country, within our state, we are starting to educate people, because when you know about something, you know how to protect yourself against it. But when you are not aware, it comes to you as a surprise. So we are trying to eradicate from this small level to a bigger level.
The Chairman Medical Advisory Committee, Kogi State Teaching Hospital, Dr. Keshin Kayode Onifade, commended the efforts of the state government through the SSA and said it is a welcome development.
Child abuse medically, now the implications are much. Now, apart from physical injuries to the children, mentally as they grow up, because some of these injuries might be long-lasting on them. So over time, they look at it as, what happened to me? If they give them the story, over time, they usually have some mental breakdowns, some mental issues. So medically, it's something we frown at. We don't want any one of them to be abused, whichever way, whether mentally, physically, or whichever way that will land them into the hospital. Now, this gesture is good because over time, since the establishment of this hospital, most of our patients are averagely poor. So now, this kind of gesture goes a long way in assisting them. Even no matter how small it is, it actually assists them. The cash donation, the food, it assists them because it boosts their morale that at least the government are still thinking about them while they are still in the hospital.
As specialist hospital and orphanage homes, Jamila advocates for proper ways of handling children, says any abused child can be physically, emotionally, and mentally troubled. She condemns sexual assault on children and promised the administration of Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo will not take it lightly with perpetrators.
Governor, being the lover of children, he will look into it and see what he can do for the children, for the orphans, for these orphanage homes. He's already talking about the children and looking at what he can put in place to, make them happy too. Somebody from another community cannot just come and start abusing. It's within. They are always within our community. So we should always try to, look into our children affairs so as not to, have a damaged child.
She thanked Governor Ododo and the First Lady Shefinat Ododo for the assignment given to her to ensure children are in good hands.
I want to use this opportunity to thank His Excellency Alhaji Usman Ododo for all his support to the children in the state and also for giving me the opportunity to serve under him. He cannot be everywhere, but we that we are under him, we are trying to take his government to everyone in the state. And his wife, Her Excellency Hajia Sophia Usman, we want to use this opportunity to also thank her for all the help she has given so far as a mother of the state. I want to also use this opportunity to thank our leader, our father, former Governor Alhaji Yahya Bello, for all he has done for the people of Kogi State.
The Chief Medical Director, Issa Adageri, the Orphanage Homes Guidance, commended the state governor for the priority he accorded to children and their well-being.
Not very surprised at this because His Excellency has been doing all these efforts. Just about 2 weeks ago, the First Lady was here to see the women on the antenatal, these pregnant women, and of course she went around the whole hospital to share goodwill messages and gifts to patients. So we want you to convey our gratitude to His Excellency. And we pray that God will continue to strengthen him from strength to strength. And then as a hospital, we assure him that we are encouraged by these efforts, and then we will not we promise that we will continue to strive to give the patients the best care possible. It's good, again, that children should know exactly what is the relationship between parents and friends, so that when those friends are going beyond the limits, the child children should be able to point out. And then parents, again, in addition, should make their children to be very confident with them. You know, they should be discussing with them. So that any information they have, they are free to discuss with their parents. And then, of course, by and large, some of these abuses will be cropped to the barest minimum.
Ododo, when he was Auditor General for local government, I keep any opportunity I have, I keep thanking him, because it was a crisis that was going to make us to fold up, and in 24 hours. I didn't know him, he didn't know me, but he got to hear about it somewhere, and he called me personally then. And that day I was like, oh, it's true that we have this crisis, and I've been appealing to people. And he said, when I'm not around now, when we come back, I'll do it. And in less than 20, it was like magic. Because even the staff that were here that day, they were at the back, working in the evening like this, around 4 p.m. And they came, and by 8 p.m., the water was gushing. And he gave us a generator to power it. Although the generator is there, we managed when he was. I went to greet him the following day. Immediately the water came the following day. We traced his place. I called some people to follow me, and he was like, Madam, why now? I said, no. There are many people out there, even the people I reached out to personally. Some were saying, go and do GoFundMe. Some were saying, go on Facebook and apply and appeal to people. Let them come to your rescue, and the rest of them. And you just heard somewhere, somebody was just talking, and they said there's any. And you did it, so I have to come and say thank you.
Okay, sir. You saying that you married acquisition of ownership because of it?
I had the opportunity of meeting the White Lion shortly before he left. And the only thing I said, I want to thank him for. That's why I followed the people I followed there that day. And I had the opportunity to speak. I told him, that time the election was not even, it was just after the primaries. And I told him that you are giving us the right person. That this person I know is remain. Because he heard of my own challenges. He doesn't know me. He has never seen me before. And he came to my rescue. So that I know if he's there, remember the vulnerable. And I knelt down and I said, thank you, sir. And he said, that is Ododo for you. And even as we were talking that day with the present, His Excellency, when I went to say thank you to him, he said, no, just keep thanking God for my boss, because he gave me the opportunity to do whatever I'm doing. And I told him, I said, he gave so many people the opportunity to do what they were supposed to do, but they didn't do it. But you have chosen to do it. So I have to really thank God on his behalf. And I'm very happy. People will want to dampen your spirits about doing things like this. But I want to tell you, there's always a reward for things like this. There's always a reward, and God is watching all of us. Whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Muslim, there's always a reward for what you have done. Especially to little children and the orphans. They are the heart of God. I'm a Christian. The Bible tells me that orphans and widows, I'm a widow myself. The orphans are here. So, and my Bible tells me that the widows and the orphans, they are the heartbeat of God. So if you touch them positively, God is going to touch you positively. And that is what she has done. And I pray that God is going to touch you positively. You will never lack any good thing.
Jamilat Mohammed said as part of her duties to ensure no child is abused, she will take her advocacy to the remaining parts of the state in the West and Eastern Senatorial districts. Faith Adike reporting for MLC TV.
Against the barriers of oppositions to his inauguration as the Etsu Lokoja, His Royal Highness Emmanuel Akamisoko Dauda Shalika Iyamka IV has appealed to Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo to, as a matter of urgency, recognize and grade his stool to put to the rest centuries of agitations. This is just as he charged security agencies to halt continuous harassment intimidations by some Lokoja Indigenous Association and to bring to justice perpetrators of the attack on his palace in which his car was burnt and other valuables destroyed. The Etsu Lokoja made the appeal in a world press conference held on Saturday in Lokoja against the plethora of Lokoja Indigenous Association launching relentless media attack on his person and the Stool. The Etsu Lokoja noted that it has become imperative for him to put the issues in perspective in order to correct the misinformation being portrayed by the Lokoja Indigenous Union and Lokoja patriots in their widely published stories against the person of Etsu Lokoja and the Stool. The Nigerian Association of Veterinary Doctors have called for the appointment of a veterinary doctor as pioneer commissioner for the newly created livestock ministry by the state government. In a news briefing by the state chairman, NAVD, Dr. Omotugba Samuel Tolu, applauded Governor Ododo for his prompt approval for the creation of Ministry of Livestock Development in Kogi State. Dr. Tolu passionately appealed to Governor Ododo to, as a matter of fact, appoint a competent, experienced and hardworking veterinarian to pilot the affairs of the juvenile ministry. Said it will help in laying strong foundation upon which subsequent development will continue to thrive. He said the health of animals and humans can never be toyed with, adding that people face grievous consequences, especially where a non-health related professional heads such a ministry. Also added that as a professional body in the state, reaffirmed their unflinching support to the governor for its readiness to partner to achieve all his laudable programs geared towards moving the state to an enviable heights. While pointing out that the idea to create the livestock ministry has been long overdue, lauded the Kogi State Government for being amongst the few states that have already domesticated the Ministry of Livestock Development since the pronouncement and the establishment of the ministry by the federal government under the leadership of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The Ministry of Health State Programs Manager for TB Leprosy, Dr. Komolafe Rotimi, has charged members of the public to show more empathy on people with tuberculosis and HIV/AIDS. At the advocacy campaign to end stigmatization organized by Initiative for Grassroots Advancement, Dr. Komolafe said Kogi State First Lady has put a lot in creating awareness to end tuberculosis and the stigma that comes with it. A reporter has more details.
The Kogi State Government, in collaboration with Initiative for Grassroots Advancement, INGRA, has led an awareness to end stigmatization of people with tuberculosis and other health ailments such as HIV/AIDS, leprosy, Down syndrome, and many more. The organizer of the program, Catherine Odok and Amza Aliu, enlightening students of Kogi State Polytechnic and core members serving in Lokoja of their havoc stigmatization has caused people who have health challenges.
Again, discrimination can heighten that feeling of fear and panic. It heightens the sense of insecurity that we feel in school community.
The reason why nature made it that way, that should come out of pressure, is because for fertilization to occur, that sperm needs to get to your cervix.
Dr. Komolafe Rotimi agitated for people to be intentional about spreading the information to end stigmatization on tuberculosis and HIV/AIDS patients, while he urged people to do proper checkup for early detection of ailments in their body.
Tuberculosis, HIV, and stigmatization is a very great problem we have currently. And for HIV, that's the one people know commonly that they are stigmatizing. I will also tell you that there is a lot of stigmatization against people with tuberculosis. When they see that somebody has TB, they don't want to associate with them. But I always tell people that before they dictate that this person has TB, he has been living among you. So what we advise is that please show more empathy, show more love to them. If you see somebody that is coughing, you can always encourage that person to go out and do the test.
The chairman of Kogi NGO Network, Idris Ozoveye, and the media practitioner Yemi Balogun appreciate the advocacy to end stigmatization and call on individuals to unite and take conscious action on warring against stigmatization of people that surrounds them.
So specifically what they've just done here today is that engaging these tertiary institution students to talk about issue of discrimination. Don't also forget that INGRA and other civil society organization has also partnered to work through the State House of Assembly to have anti-discrimination law on HIV and AIDS in Kogi State. That is in the works. I think it has been passed by the House. So it is time now to start sensitizing people, and the best place to do that is to start sensitizing our students, in the statutory institution, to know that there's a law that covers issues around HIV stigmatization.
Call is upon each and every one of us to take conscious action so that we would not be the reason why the other person is self-isolating and being suicidal. So we need to unite together to end stigma and discrimination of any sort, either because of your skin color, your race, your cultural background, or your belief system.
Students of Kogi State Polytechnic Okono Solomon and Ahmed Salatu share what they have learned at the sensitization program and advocate for fair treatment and social inclusiveness of anyone with HIV/AIDS and other health issues.
They taught us about not to discriminate the people with HIV/AIDS around us.
My advice to youth who have people who are vulnerable to health ailments, like they should not discriminate them. They should allow them to have their own group. They should involve them in their daily activities in order not to lack in any activities.
In the same light, Ingram moved the campaign against stigmatization of vulnerable persons to the National Youth Service Corps CDS ground in Lokoja. The NGO educated and engaged core members to avoid gestures and conversation that lay stigma on people with HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, and those who seek to engage in protected sex. The program officer for INGRA, Ayuba Abdulfatai, stated that the conversation is to instill consciousness among the core members to shun stigmatization against HIV/AIDS and tuberculosis patients.
We're looking towards a time where persons living with HIV in the state are no longer discriminated by their HIV status, they are no longer stigmatized, they are no longer deprived of rights that they are entitled to as normal citizens living in the country. And this is also part of our efforts to put out the bill that has already been passed, which is a bill to provide for persons living with, to stop for stigmatizations for persons living with HIV and AIDS in Kogi State. So that is what this activity here today is all about.
The lead advocate, Catherine Odok, said the massive advocacy is to create an enabling environment for people living with HIV/AIDS and tuberculosis to express and live a good life.
We are speaking to core members today to enable them to take informed decision. There is this myth that once you have HIV, then you're doomed. Once you have HIV, then there is nothing more to live for, and that's just myth. You can be infected and you still take responsive decision by getting treatment, staying consistent with the treatment, and live a fulfilled life.
The core members engage actively in the conversation and share their opinion on stigmatization and their fears, while speakers gave demonstrations of protected sex and how to detect symptoms of tuberculosis among the students of Kogi State Polytechnic. I am Abiodun Sadiq, reporting for MLC TV.
Friends and well-wishers took turns to commend Ibrahim Fallilat Bismillahi, the Director of Administration and General Service, DPM, Yagba East Local Government Area, as she retires after 35 meritorious years of service with the Local Government Service Commission, Kogi State. They described her as a go-getter and dedicated staff that wants things to get done efficiently and effectively. The commendation was given during the retirement Thanksgiving party held at her family house in Lokoja, the state capital. The occasion attracted the Arewa Association and Stand Up for Women Society, among others. Our reporter tells us more.
With gratitude to Allah, the celebrant was ushered into the arena of the occasion.
For spending 35 years in service.
After an exchange of pleasantries, the retired Director of Administration and General Services, Ibrahim Fallilat Bismillah, Yagba East Local Government, under the Local Government Service Commission, shared her experience.
And I appreciate God Almighty who has brought me so far from clerical officer to a director today is not my making. In that service, I got the title Mrs. In that same service, I got that title Mother. In that same service, today, I'm retiring as a grandmother. Is it my making? No. It can only be God.
Many who know her describe her as a woman of substance, hardworking and go-getter.
This opportunity to tell each and every one of us that wherever you are, as a leader, as a director, as a head, as a president, use your position to better the lives of people. Don't use it to torment people. Don't use it to punish people. Because one day you will leave that office. And when you leave that office, you become nothing before anyone. Nobody will even care to greet you. This woman, this short period, he fought gallantly to ensure that some directors who were not promoted were promoted to grade level 16. I'm attesting to that. I am saying what she has done. If you have not done it, nobody will attest to it.
Who say Fallilat is like a man? Who say a woman of substance does not exist? She is a woman of substance and she deserves to be recognized.
In addition to what many of you have said today, I equally know the celebrant as a philanthropist. Each year, you see her talking about going to a Kodayo orphanage home. And I recall vividly, on 1st of January this year, she was there with her team, preparing food, drinks, and celebrating with the orphans. I pray God will continue to be with you.
So I will say a word of prayers for you. After your retirement, you will not be tired. You are just starting. All you thought you have lost during the service year, it is time to start reaping it. And that is why God has kept you young. You are not looking 35 years in service, but you are looking 35 years old. So,
but I discipline her. Stop her when she was young. So I discipline her. I said one day that that discipline, it helped me too much. God will bless you. To be well with you. The Bible says we should ask of things to come. Things to come. And your life you will still spend. You will spend it in good health.
you know, she doesn't like criticism or hypocrisy. She doesn't like it at all. She will tell you what it is. For the people we spent together, we're still together in SWS, she said, I don't like this one. And truly, when you look at it, you know that she's talking from a point of interest that will benefit everybody.
I was like a stranger when I came into this town. But when I met her, everything changed for me. I never suffered. She didn't give me an opportunity to suffer. She took care of me.
She's a good person to all of us. And we are proud to have her as our wife. I pray she lives very, very long. At the end of the day, when she goes back, and she happens to come back again, she will come to our own family. That is the much I can tell you about.
The celebrant in her early 50s informed the journalist of her next move, saying she is retired but not tired.
There is no way you can develop a nation without engaging in politics, directly or indirectly. We cannot do it all. We need support of government to achieve great success. So now that I'm retiring, I'm not tired, as you can see. I'm still agile to the glory of God, and I'm ready for that politics. And I pray God will take me there to be one of them in government and to lay good example to others.
The occasion spiced with music attracted members of the Arewa Kogi State chapter, Stand Up for Women Society (SWS), and staff of the Local Government Commission from Ida and Yagba East Local Government area. Khadijat Muhammad, reporting for MLC TV.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa of Ondo State has granted clemency to 40 inmates serving various jail terms in correctional centers spread across the state. The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Kayode Ajulo, announced this on Sunday in a statement. According to Ajulo, the governor was guided in making the decision by recommendations of the State Advisory Council on Prerogative of Mercy. He said those pardoned include 15 convicts who were outrightly released, while several death sentences were commuted to life imprisonment and others had their sentences reduced significantly. Now on crime. Operatives of the Nigerian Police Force has apprehended one Destiny Ekorotume, a 38-year-old suspect for spreading fake news, disinformation, and incitement capable of widening the trust gap between the police and members of the public, who are critical stakeholders in national peace and security in Uhumwonde local government area of Edo State. First Public Relations Officer ASP Olumuyiwa Adejobi stated this on Friday while briefing newsmen in Abuja noted that the suspect allegedly created and operated multiple social media accounts to disseminate false and inciting content aimed at provoking the public against the Nigeria police.
There was a time a video went viral where they were saying the deputy commissioner of police was arrested or was sharing arms, giving arms to bandits in Kaduna, posted by a lecturer. And this young man, this Destiny Ekorotume, that has just been arrested now, did the video, you have just seen the video now. I started laying emphasis on this fake information, false information, fake news. Recirculated the content was inciting members of the public against the government, against the police, attacking police institution, which of course this particular incident occurred in 2019. And the unfortunate thing was that he made the video after the Nigeria Police Force has debunked the fake information. We debunked the fake information last year. We did it 2022, 2024, and we have done it again this year when the particular video was recirculated, just to discredit the police and jeopardize our security arrangement in this country. So today we have here before us one Destiny Ehoro Tomien, 38-year-old from Unwode local government in Edo State, who was arrested on 8th of January 2025 in Benin, when the police officers who are investigating some of his atrocities could lay their hands on him. He has been involved in many spread of fake news, false information, inciting members of the public against the government, cyber stalking, and criminal defamation. The Nigeria Police Force has taken it upon itself and taken the bull by the horn in curbing the spread of fake news, disinformation, misinformation, falsehood, in eating up the polity and, of course, discrediting the Nigerian government, Nigerian nation, and the Nigeria Police Force in general.
The Inspector General of Police, IGP, Kayode Adeolu Ebetokun, received the Commissioner for Insurance, National Insurance Commission, NICOM, Olusegun Ayo Omoseyin, and team in his office. The Commissioner congratulated the IGP on his significant achievement, particularly the establishment of the Police Insurance Company Limited. He emphasized the need for the police assistance in ensuring public compliance with insurance laws. He also requested the Nigerian Police Force's support in the nationwide enforcement of compulsory third-party insurance, which provides substantial benefits to all road users.
And the appeal will be for a nationwide enforcement of compulsory motor vehicle in Nigeria. Let the Nigerian public know that today Nigeria has made a significant step forward in ensuring compliance with the laws of the land. We know this is doable. Yes, of course, I recognize the fact that there might be challenges. And it is in this regard that we are putting forward a process that can make this happen. The enforcement team can then be composed of a technical committee, if I can use that word, which would give the strategic directive to this process, would volunteer people, high-ranking officers of the National Insurance Commission to join in that, to partake in that committee, with relevant officers that will have been selected by the IG. This committee will then fashion the modalities that would bat, a virile and effective enforcement process.
In his remarks, the IGP affirmed the importance of third-party insurance and announced February 1st, 2025, as the commencement date for the enforcement of the relevant laws. The IGP further stated that Section 68 of the Insurance Act and Section 312 of the 1945 Motor Vehicle Third-Party Insurance Act mandates that all vehicle owners possess third-party insurance before operating their vehicles on public roads.
I have listened to your request, Mr. Commissioner, and I want to assure you that we are on the same page on this. The third-party insurance is the minimum level of insurance cover that is required by law. Section 68 of the Insurance Act. And of course, Section 3, 1 and 2 of the Motor Vehicle Third-Party Insurance Act make it mandatory for all vehicle owners to have a minimum of the third-party insurance before they put their vehicles on the road. It's a requirement for roadworthiness of vehicles on Nigerian road. The enforcement of this law has been part of our daily enforcement activities in Nigeria as police. Regrettably, the Nigeria Insurance Association reported that less than 30% of vehicles on Nigerian roads are insured. That's a challenge to us, and I want to assure you that we have taken up that challenge. We are going to increase our efforts with respect to enforcing this law.
He urged Nigerians to comply with these laws, as violations are punishable by imprisonment, fines, or both.
This law protects all Nigerian citizens from damages and injuries they suffered during road accident. So it is in the interest of all Nigerians that we pay special attention to the enforcement of this law. And I want to assure you that from 1st of February, like you suggested, you are going to see increased efforts in the enforcement of this law. The enforcement of this law has numerous benefits to the citizens. Number one, it ensures that victims of road accidents get the necessary compensation they deserve. It also protects people who become victims of road accidents while traveling in commercial vehicles. There is also the economic benefit of it. It helps to grow our insurance industry in Nigeria. The insurance industry in Nigeria is growing, and they are employing our jobless youths, so we need to support them to also grow. It also encourages responsible driving culture on our roads. When motorists are aware that they will be held responsible for their actions on the road, they tend to behave better. And I quite agree with you that without intensified efforts on enforcement, people will not want to comply.
The MPF remains steadfast in collaborating with all MDAs and companies to ensure that the protection of lives and property of all citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria remains paramount. NICOM Commissioner Olusegun was accompanied by Dr. Usman Jankara, Deputy Commissioner Technical, Ekerete Olagam Ikon, Deputy Commissioner, Finance and Administration, Dr. Talmis Usman, Director, Legal Enforcement and Market Development, Ajibola Bankole, Director, Inspectorate, Taiwo Babatola Adeoye, Special Advisor to the Commissioner for Insurance, and other members. There's no respect yet for the tussle surrounding the 15th Emir of Kano seat, as Aminu Bayero has concluded plans to file all necessary papers of appeal against the Court of Appeal ruling on the Kano Emirship tussle at the Supreme Court via the legal team. This was as some political groups, including a Kano-based private lawyer, Shaibu Balarebe Nasidi, have disputed the stance of Kano State Government on the recent ruling of the appeal court over Emirates. Speaking on behalf of the 15th Emir, Aminuddin Angundi, said the state government has misquoted the judgment and that Bayero remained the subsisting Emir until all the legal actions instituted against his removal were concluded. This World Press Conference, addressed by the Kano State Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General directing all interested parties in the matter to abide by recent ruling of a Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja. In a dramatic turn of events, members of the Lagos State House of Assembly impeached Speaker Mudashiru Obasa on Monday, January 13. The impeachment came amidst allegations of multiple statutory and financial infractions, including the withdrawal of 43.5 billion naira for backup vehicles for lawmakers. Obasa's removal was swiftly followed by his replacement with his deputy, Laspat Miranda, who represents Apapa Constituency 1 and previously served as the House Chief Whip. The impeachment is a significant development in the Lagos State House of Assembly, and it remains to be seen how this will impact the state's governance. It seems that the lawmakers have made this choice, and now the people of Lagos will be watching closely to see what comes next. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Compliment of the season from MLC TV. We use this platform to thank you for your patronage and support throughout 2024. 2025 is going to be more interesting, informative, educative, and entertaining from all our rebranded programs, starting from our daily news and current affairs global to our weekly programs to digging deep into our politics through political arena, sharing your views on the opinion, and inspiring the younger generation on Word for Youth. Also, knowing all that happens on the field and track events through sports review, grabbing opportunities like on technologies via ICT Global, and maintaining your health and status through Health Med Info, learning from the old to improve the younger generation through Senior Citizen Alcove, catching them young with Kiddies Affairs, and meeting with your icons on one-on-one with public figure. We also designed for you a weekly program on understanding estate management through the real estate and investors, encouraging local dialect through Kakanchi Ibira. Women's World, where all about women is discussed and celebrated, and family affairs to understanding your parenting guides. Children and parents are the focus. Another is Canteen Talk, a corner where we talk about what you need to know about the food you eat, its benefits, the environment, where it is cooked, how it is cooked, and the ugly side of the canteen you visit. Join us every weekend for this mind-blowing program that will shape your eating habits. Also, we have Kogi in Focus, a weekly program that informs you of happenings within and across Kogi State, and crowning it all with pleasure with Irrecoco Entertainment. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, MLC TV, to be the first to know once we launch. Also follow all our social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, X, TikTok, and the website melakite.com.ng to read our news daily. With MLC TV, no dull moment. Our service is to keep you abreast of all happenings around the world. We are MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. Thanks, you are still with us. Next on our foreign news. Ghana President John Mahama has reduced the country's ministries from 30 to 23 in a bid to cut government spending. Mahama's decision, an executive order to trim the number of government ministries, was contained in a gazette dated January 9, 2 days after he took office. The West African country will no longer have the Ministries of Information, Sanitation and Water Resources, National Security, Railway Development, Parliamentary Affairs, Public Enterprises, and Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. The scrapped ministries were in place under Nana Akufo-Addo, immediate past president of Ghana. Firefighters are in a critical stage of their 6-day battle against deadly Los Angeles wildfires. Crew reports progress, but officials said the fire threat will remain very high as dangerous winds return this week. At least 24 people have died and dozens are missing, but officials said it's not yet safe to assess the true total. Questions over Los Angeles' preparedness for the firestorm have led to political finger-pointing, even as the emergency response continues. Experts say the region faced a devastating combination of circumstances. The Eaton and Palisades fires are likely the second and fourth most destructive in California history. Wildfires are fueled by a lot of factors, but scientists say global warming is loading the dice in favor of more severe blazes, and California is uniquely susceptible to climate change. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he is willing to hand over the 2 captured North Korean soldiers back to Pyongyang in exchange for Ukrainian prisoners of war in Russia. Zelensky said on X, for those North Korean soldiers who do not wish to return, there may be other options available. He added, those who want to bring peace closer by spreading the truth about this war in Korea will be given that opportunity. The Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, said one of the 2 soldiers told officials he thought he was going to Russia for training rather than to fight. He was found with a Russian military ID card issued in the name of another person. The other soldier had no documents. The SBU said the 2 men who were taken prisoner on 9th January are in Kyiv and receiving medical care. SBU said they only speak Korean and are being questioned with assistance of South Korea's National Intelligence Service. Russia has not denied using North Korean troops in its war against Ukraine. President Vladimir Putin said in October that it was his country's sovereign decision whether or not to deploy such troops. SBU said that the soldier found with the ID card told interrogators he had been issued the document during the autumn of 2024 in Russia. According to SBU, he also said that some of North Korea's combat units had undergone a 1-week training at the time. Next is sport updates. Atlético Madrid manager Diego Simeone has expressed his anger over the Spanish National Sports Council's decision to allow Barcelona to register 2 more players, Dani Olmo and Paul Victor. Simeone said he is not in support of such decision, insisting that his club has abided by the rules of La Liga. Barcelona has been unable to register Olmo and Victor since bringing them in the summer. However, the soap opera is now over as the Catalan side has been given the green light to provisionally register the pair. Reports in La Liga suggest that clubs were divided on their stance with Olmo's case, with clubs like Atlético Madrid and Sevilla, who have representatives in the league's delegations committee, strongly opposed to Barcelona. With the successful provisional re-registration of Dani Olmo and Paul Victor back into the Barcelona squad, the news continues to stir massive reactions in Spain. And from our entertainment desk, American rapper and YouTuber Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., better known as DDG, has stated that he might have to relocate to Lagos State. DDG made this known while expressing uncertainty about continuing to live in the United States. In a viral post on his X handle, the rapper hinted at his possible relocation to London or the Lagos part of Nigeria. Expressing dissatisfaction with life in America, the singer noted that the current state of the United States has made it less appealing to him. And this is where we wrap it up on today's news. For more information or contributions and advert placements, please call the numbers displayed on your screen. Join us daily to watch our news and other exciting programs that will brighten your day. You can also subscribe to all our social media handles to watch our previous and subsequent programs. We are MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. Please be your brothers and sisters keeper to build a happier and better society together. I am Gift Daniel. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.